thanks for checking out the variable definition video for mathcelebrity.com. Today you're going to discover three things. First, what is a variable? Second, when do you use it? And third, what does it all mean? How does it relate to math in the grand scheme of things? So let's kick it off with a definition. What is a variable? A variable is just a letter or symbol used to represent an unknown value. Think of it as a placeholder. And you're going to see this a lot in equations as well as algebraic expressions. How do you declare or use a variable? Well, you use letters of the alphabet, such as X, Y, or Z. Again, the letter is a placeholder for a number until you find or solve for the variable. Now, it's worthy to note that there's two letters we recommend not using for variables. The first is I, because that's reserved for the imaginary numbers, which is the square root of -1. And the second is E, which is reserved for Euler's constant. So let's get into the two types of variables. The first is if a person, place, or object is known, then we use the first letter of the person, place, or object for the variable. This is the easiest way, and I'll give you examples of this in a minute. The second scenario is if you need an arbitrary variable, and I will give you examples of that as well. The arbitrary variable is used when you don't know what you're declaring the variable for, and it's more of just a generic, which we'll get into in a second. So first, let's look at variable examples for person, place, or thing. In the left column, you see the item that you need a variable for, and on the right column, you see the variable. Now, as you can see, for every single one of these variables, we're using the first letter of the person, place, or thing. So even though John is a name, we care about his age, so we're using A. Mary's height starts with H. Strawberries is S. Eggs, cars, and dimes. So when you use the first letter, it's easier at the end of the problem to go back and translate into what you actually solve for. Let's look at arbitrary variables. So these are primarily used in algebraic expressions. And so you'll see terms like twice a number plus 5, or an unknown number added to 6 equals 37. Whenever you see the phrase a number, an unknown number, some number, or a number and a different number, I like to use X, and then if they use the phrase a different number, we pick a second variable, Y. X is the great generic variable that's used in most of algebra, and it's the easiest to remember. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to learn more, I'll put this link in the comments. This is a link to our website, more about variables, and you can plug in your math problem and get a step-by-step solution in 1/3 of 1 second. So I want to thank you for watching the variables video, and I will see you in the next video.